The 5-year rule associated with Roth IRA accounts can often confuse those getting ready to withdraw money from those accounts for retirement or maybe to implement Roth conversions to lower their lifetime tax liabilities. And it is confusing, and it is often poorly communicated and covered throughout the media, and often financial influencers usually don't clarify the rules very well, and sometimes even other financial professionals can get it wrong. But today, I'm going to set the record straight. Hey everyone, Tim here, back again, and this week, as mentioned, I'm going to discuss the Roth IRA 5-year rule, or actually rules, plural, because there are actually 2 different 5-year rules, and this is often where most of the confusion comes from. There is a 5-year contribution rule, and there is a 5-year conversion rule. Now, I recently made a video discussing in detail the difference between a Roth contribution and a Roth IRA conversion. So go check out that video if you have more questions about that. But as a quick refresher, Roth contributions and Roth conversions are 2 very different transactions. A Roth contribution has limits on how much you can contribute and income thresholds that you have to be under in order to contribute, but anyone at any age can do a Roth IRA conversion of any size. From a pre-tax retirement account like a traditional Roth IRA or 401k, you can convert that money to a Roth IRA. There are no limits, but you will have to pay ordinary income taxes on the converted amount in the year that it was converted. Now, to start, I want to frame this discussion by asking the why behind these rules, because when you consider why they exist, the rules often make a lot more sense. So first, the 5-year contribution rule. Now, in order to have a tax-free qualified distribution from a Roth IRA, 2 requirements must be satisfied. First, the distribution must be made after one of the following. The IRA owner turns 59 and a half, this one is most common, or after the death of the original IRA owner, or after becoming totally disabled, or for a qualified first-time home buyer, expenses up to a $10,000 limit. And second, the distribution must meet the Roth contribution 5-year waiting period. And this 5-year period applies across the board to any and all of an individual's Roth IRAs. And it starts with an individual's very first contribution or conversion that is deposited to any Roth IRA. So the first time money hits that account that you've opened. And it does not restart. So let's call this the 5-year forever rule to help you remember that it's forever. So once a person makes their first Roth IRA contribution or Roth IRA conversion, then their starting date for the 5-year forever rule is locked in. And this is true even if all of Roth IRA funds are distributed at some point and then they open a new Roth later. Quick note, the 5-year holding period begins on January 1st of the year for the first contribution or conversion to any Roth IRA. So technically it might actually be less than a full 5 years. I also want to remind you that you can always withdraw your contributions from a Roth IRA without any restrictions or age limits because you've already paid taxes on that money. For example, if you contribute $6,000 to a Roth IRA and 1 day later or 6 months later or 15 years later, you want that $6,000 contribution back, you can always withdraw it without penalty or taxes. So, back to the why. Well, to get something, we have to give something. And in this case, we're getting the opportunity for tax-free growth for our retirement. And in order to get this, we have to be willing to wait at least 5 years after our Roth IRA has been opened. And we generally have to wait until we're at least 59 and a half. But if we think about getting all that growth in a Roth IRA tax-free after it's qualified, sometimes decade after decade, this seems like a reasonable price to pay. Okay, that was the 5-year contribution rule. Now, let's discuss the 5-year rule for Roth conversions. Let's try to keep this simple. You're going to need to answer 2 questions to know if you're good to go and your Roth IRA is qualified. First, has your Roth IRA been open and funded for at least 5 years? And second, are you 59 and a half or older? If you answered yes to both questions, then you do not have any restrictions or limitations on withdrawing any money from your Roth IRA. You can withdraw money that you converted, you can withdraw money that you've contributed, and you can withdraw earnings, all without any taxes and or penalties. You are good to go, and the benefits of a qualified Roth are yours. So nice work. What if you do not currently have a Roth IRA that is open and funded, but you are 59 and a half? Well, if for the first time you opened a Roth IRA this year and you did a $100,000 Roth conversion, you would need to wait at least 5 years to withdraw any of the earnings associated with growth on that $100,000 that was converted tax-free. But you could still withdraw the $100,000 conversion amount at any time because you already paid taxes on that amount. And you are over 59 and a half, so you can take your converted dollar amount out whenever you want with no tax or penalty. However, you will need to wait 5+ years after the year of the conversion in order to withdraw any of the growth or earnings associated with that $100,000 conversion to avoid taxes. But you are over 59 and a half, so there would be no 10% penalty if you took it out before the 5 years is up, just taxes on the growth. For example, let's say that the $100,000 conversion that went into the Roth IRA for the first time grows and goes to $150,000. Well, you would need to wait at least 5 years from the year that you did this conversion in order to withdraw the extra $50,000 of growth tax-free. Because again, even though you're 59 and a half, you have not had a Roth IRA open and funded for at least 5 years. And it's important to note that if you are under 59 and a half, every Roth conversion you do is going to have its own 5-year clock. So how does that work? Well, let's say that you opened and funded a Roth IRA over 5 years ago, but you're under age 59 and a half. Let's say that you're 40 and you do a $100,000 Roth conversion and then decide to withdraw $50,000 from that conversion amount 3 years later when you're 43. Well, that $50,000 withdrawal will be hit with a 10% early distribution penalty, because to avoid this penalty, you would have needed to wait 5 or more years from the year you did the conversion. And each subsequent conversion you do in the future years is going to be treated the same. So if you do another $100,000 Roth conversion next year at age 41, that conversion will start its own 5-year clock. Now, on to the next confusing situation. Let's say that you opened and funded a Roth IRA over 5 years ago, and now you're 57, and you decide to do a $100,000 Roth conversion. And 3 years later, at age 60, that $100,000 Roth IRA conversion has grown from $100,000 to $150,000, and you decide to cash out. Well, you can. And you won't have any restrictions, taxes, or penalties because you are now able to answer both questions with a yes. First, you have a Roth IRA that has been open and funded for 5+ years, and 2, you are now over 59 and a half. Now this one gets confusing because people forget that once they reach 59 and a half, the 5-year conversion rule no longer applies and only the 5-year contribution rule applies, and it has already been satisfied. Now, back to the why does the 5-year conversion rule exist in addition to the 5-year contribution rule? Well, let's revisit that 40-year-old. Let's say that you're 40 and you do not have a Roth IRA, but you do have a tax-deferred traditional IRA with $100,000 in it. Now, let's say you have an emergency and you want to withdraw that $100,000 today. Well, you would have to pay ordinary income taxes, and you would get hit with a 10% early withdrawal penalty since you're under 59 and a half. So, if the 5-year conversion rule did not exist, you would be able to convert $100,000 of your pre-tax money right now and then withdraw it without paying the 10% penalty. Well, the IRS does not want you to have this loophole. So they made the 5-year conversion rule so that you can't do that. You would have had to convert the $100,000, pay taxes on the $100,000, and then wait 5 years to be able to withdraw that $100,000 penalty free. So you could still be able to access this $100,000 at age 45, which is 5 years later, which of course is much younger than 59 and a half, but you would have had to pay Uncle Sam his share and then wait 5 years. So the 5-year conversion rule exists to prevent someone who is under age 59 and a half from accessing pre-tax retirement account dollars without penalty, at least for 5 years. Bottom line, you may have noticed from other videos that I am a huge fan of Roth conversions, especially now since our tax rates are historically low and we can potentially reduce lifetime tax liabilities for our clients as well as their heirs or legacy. And if you think retirement, tax planning, and or Roth conversions might be something you are going to want to do down the road, and I hope they are, you should consider opening and funding a Roth IRA as soon as possible to get the 5-year forever rule taken care of. Thank you, everybody, and I will see you in the next video. Once again, Tim Dorman here, founder of Eagle Ridge Wealth Advisors, and if you would like to see how we help our clients get the most out of their financial lives in retirement, please visit us at erwealth.com, and we hope to see you there.